Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm joined by fellow leaders from across Los Angeles County, here on the tallest room in the Los Angeles City Hall, the Tom Bradley Ballroom, named after one of our great regional leaders who led us through some of our toughest moments in city history. From up here, this building, which was once the tallest building in the Southland, you can see the beautiful cities of Pasadena and Long Beach, Los Angeles City, down the hill from the Los Angeles County Hall of Administration. You see the beauty of this place, its potential, and you feel its history. 6 months ago, the four of us leaders that are here tonight stood together on a day that changed this Los Angeles County forever, at a moment when we faced a challenge that was unknown, but that we already knew was severe. And 6 months later, we have so much that Los Angeles can be proud of. We came together as a group of leaders, our great Board of Supervisors led by Catherine Barger, the chair, our mayors of both Pasadena, Terry Tornick, and Long Beach, Robert Garcia, who have their own health departments, myself as the mayor of the city of LA, and regularly talking to the other 85 cities throughout Los Angeles County. We said we would lock arms together, do whatever was necessary to save lives, to try to protect livelihoods, and to get through this together. Together we focused on innovation, and we were the first area in the country to shut down businesses where people gather. The first to require masks, to scale up our testing infrastructure and offer widespread testing to people with and without symptoms, to eradicate the racial mortality gap among African Americans, and to cut deaths in skilled nursing facilities by 80% across Los Angeles County. We intervened early, and we innovated bravely, and we gave generously across this county, everyday residents and businesses, labor unions and nonprofits, churches and synagogues and mosques. We dug deep into who we were and who we could be to protect the Los Angeles that we love. And by standing together, we saved lives. Today, LA County ranks 22nd out of all counties in California in cases per 100,000 residents over the last 14 days, according to data from the New York Times. Right now, the LA metropolitan area is ranked 147th in the nation in cases per capita since the start of the pandemic. We have fewer deaths per 100,000 residents than most of the large counties in America, led by great public health departments, by leaders, and by leaders I don't just mean people who are elected, but leaders at the block level, the household level, the street level, and the neighborhood level. And while our numbers are much better in the past months, with hospitalizations down to our lowest levels since April, and our test positivity rate now at just 4.5% over the last 7 days, we still know that our progress every single day of this crisis will remain fragile. And 6 months into this crisis, the virus is still here. It's still spreading, and it's still deadly. We all must continue to be vigilant, which is why we stand here together, every day learning more and more and combining those lessons to make sure that our response is more targeted, more surgical, and that we get more lives saved. We learn about treatment, prevention, the everyday actions that save lives, and the tools we need to stay safe. So tonight we are here together to roll out new innovations, to keep us on the right track and to save lives from COVID-19. So with that, let me toss it over to our first speaker this evening. As I mentioned, the chair of a county board of supervisors, and I'm grateful to the entire county of Los Angeles, its workers and its leaders for helping keep us safe, and especially Catherine Barger, who has led the way. Supervisor?
Thank you so much, Mayor Garcetti. It is a pleasure to join you tonight alongside Mayors Eric Garcetti, Robert Garcia, Terry Tornick, and of course, Los Angeles County Public Health Director, Dr. Barbara Ferrer. We are here to announce the county's partnership with the Citizen Safe Pass mobile app for contact tracing. The Safe app is a revolutionary system that uses a phone's built-in Bluetooth to anonymously track people with whom you may have come in close proximity. If an individual has an extended contact with somebody who later tests positive for COVID-19, they will receive a notification to get tested. SafePass is a valuable tool and will help supporting our existing contract tracing program. Contact tracing is a lengthy process that relies on information shared by people who test positive for COVID. Robust, efficient, and thorough contact tracing is critical to interpret the ongoing transmission of the disease and to reduce its spread. For contact tracing to be most effective, contacts need to be traced and notified quickly. The county currently has 2,600 individuals who have been deployed as contact tracers, and to date, they have completed nearly 195,000 contact tracing interviews with cases and 53,000 interviews with contacts. Thank you to the contact tracers, many of whom are county disaster social workers who continue to work diligently to gather and share the much-needed information. The county's partnership with SafePass is a valuable asset in our fight to stop the spread of COVID-19 throughout our entire communities. SafePass will serve as another tool in our toolbox to help collect and share information quickly and efficiently. In addition, the information gathered through the SafePass app will help us learn more about the virus and how it is spreading throughout our communities in the county. In collecting information, everyone's identity remains anonymous and all data is encrypted to ensure privacy and security. Throughout this process, we've been very careful to institute strict privacy protections, both the County of Los Angeles and by Citizen, the maker of the app. These privacy precautions are intended to fully protect the users and their contact. SafePass is completely voluntary, and it only works when someone downloads the app and opts into the service. Throughout the coronavirus pandemic, I have witnessed great resiliency and support by people and communities who are dedicated to protecting themselves and their neighbors. The SafePass app relies on a continued sense of community impact and asks residents to do their part to help slow the spread. We also know that there are so many people who are deeply engaged in this issue and want to stay abreast of new information and updates. This is a great way for them to stay informed, involved, and aware. SafePass, which can be activated through the Citizen app, will support our collective efforts to keep our residents safe and help us move forward in our recovery journey and continual reopening. We are grateful for opportunities to pursue additional measures that will help in our collective fight to slow the spread of COVID-19 in Los Angeles County. I share the cautious optimism regarding the improved COVID-19 trends in LA County. Because of the commitment of our communities, we have made great strides on all fronts. Of course, we cannot let our guard down now. In addition to our pursuit of new technologies such as the SafePass app, we will remain vigilant to protect our communities with the use of face coverings, physical distancing, and other necessary safety protocols. Thank you, and I would now like to invite Mayor Garcetti back up.
Thank you, Chair Barger, for not only your leadership, but your friendship. This is the first time we've been physically in the same space in 6 months, though we talk almost every single day, and you have been really extraordinary in the most challenging of times. Thank you. 6 months ago, as I mentioned, we saw some of the toughest moments of our life, but one of the most important investments in our response has been widespread testing. Today, we have more than 23,000 tests available at city and county sites, including in the cities of Pasadena and Long Beach. And tomorrow, with our partners at Curative and LA Metro, the City of Los Angeles is opening a mobile testing kiosk in what is a central hub for all of Southern California, Union Station. This kiosk model is something that's innovative through the main testing company that both the county and the city use. People who don't have access to a car or who can't travel to one of our city or county-run testing sites, these kiosks can test up to 500 people per day. And we're looking forward to seeing people travel safely through Union Station, to home, to work, to their families, to where they need to go. The kiosk is going to be operating from Wednesdays through Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's open to anybody with or without an appointment. In addition to our innovative testing program, we're working with the county to establish this contact tracing infrastructure that was just mentioned, to complement the testing work and to track down those who may be infected, and to help us get ahead of new outbreaks. LA has really been a national model for a response to COVID-19, to find solutions quickly and to try things. Not everything works. Sometimes you test it and it doesn't. But if you're willing to be among the first, you can help sometimes shape the architecture of how things do work. And today, this app that we are talking about, the Citizen Safe Pass app, and so many people in Southern California, it's estimated I think 1 million people in LA County already have the Citizen app. It allows us to add the Safe Pass part of this app, which goes in and tells you, asks you how you're feeling, allows you to be able to see in the future, input your test results, and even get at-home testing kits at no cost. It's a great innovative way to look at keeping all of us safe. And I'm so grateful to Citizen and its CEO, Andrew Frame, for the great work that they have done, for being extraordinary partners for bringing this. The reason the four of us are standing together is we didn't want one app in one city and another one from the county and one from another city. We are hoping this becomes a standard because anonymously and safely, the more of us that can be alerted and that can alert those loved ones that we have that they may be in contact with somebody who's positive, the more lives we can save and the quicker we can get that knowledge out. And as Supervisor Barger laid out, it's really easy. It's simple, but it goes a long, long way. So by downloading the Safe Pass app for free on your smartphone, Apple and Android, you can help us dramatically expand our capacity to trace outbreaks and to save lives. Let's say you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19. If you're a person in a high-risk environment or somebody you know you think may be COVID-19 positive. You get a test at a city or county site or through your doctor or another clinic. But as soon as you get those test results back, you put it into SafePass. If you've tested negative for COVID, that's it. Easy. But if you've tested positive, the app will take immediate steps to mitigate the impact here in Southern California, identifying contacts that you may have unknowingly exposed to the virus and send a message to their phones, not saying that you, with your name, have COVID-19. That stays anonymous and private. It lets people know that they have come in contact with somebody who has tested positive and advises them to get tested as well. By making sure those people go to the front of the line, get tested immediately, and take that on, we're able to slow down the spread, the community spread of COVID-19. SafePass, again, keeps your information private, anonymous. It never identifies the person who has tested positive. It simply lets others know that they may have been exposed. And the app also shares daily updates about the status of COVID-19 in your neighborhood, in your area, and other risks to be aware of. We're bringing this app to Los Angeles County because when it comes to stopping COVID in its tracks, information is power. The more that you know, the faster you can act, and the more lives you can save. It's not a replace for formal contact tracing. That will still continue through the county and through the amazing dedicated workers. And please do answer those calls. Please stay with the entire interview, and please help us get to all of your loved ones, coworkers, neighbors. But this is a way to cover more ground and to cover it quickly. And it couldn't come at a more important moment. We might feel good, and we should feel good about the progress over the last month, but flu season is right around the corner. And a spike in cases right now could overrun our hospitals and overwhelm our healthcare system. This is a nightmare that none of us want to experience. So we all share the same goal, protecting the most vulnerable, whether they're our neighbors or people with pre-existing conditions, getting our kids back as safely as possible into classrooms, keeping our economic recovery pathway moving. And even as so much in our city has changed over these past 6 months, so much has stayed the same. Above me is written a quote from Aristotle's Politics that says, "The city came into being to preserve life." That's why cities exist, so that we can protect each other from all of those threats historically that come to us when we are not in solidarity with one another. But human beings looking out for each other and caring for each other can protect from the worst threats that we face, including this. Over the past 6 months, I've been asked so many times by everyday citizens, "Mayor, what can I do? How can I do my part?" Well, tonight we want you to take an easy but powerful step right here. You should download the Citizen Safe Pass app, and right now on your iPhone or Android phone, and make sure your friends and your family and your coworkers do the same. If you're a boss, push it out to your workers and suggest that they do the same thing. If you're a leader in the family, also let them know about this as well. And that's how you can power our progress and keep us on track and save lives across our county. With that, let me hand it over to a woman who has been a warrior, who has really been the face of public health and has been able to save countless lives. I'm grateful for her friendship, for her passion, for her excellence, and for always following the science. Please welcome Dr. Barbara Ferrer, the head of our Department of Public Health in the County of Los Angeles.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much, Mayor Garcetti, Supervisor Barger, Mayor Garcia, and Mayor Tornick, for being such wonderful and remarkable leaders during some of the most difficult times our communities have ever faced. I'm thrilled to be part of this countywide effort today to expand our capacity to effectively connect with residents about steps they can take to slow the spread of COVID-19. Our county has stood together in the face of unprecedented times. This pandemic has really created both devastation and opportunities for all of us. Throughout the entire past 7 months, I continue to be amazed by and grateful for the many members of our community who have used their unique talents to help others get through what have been very, very challenging days. We see this every single day from individuals such as residents who are reaching out and wearing their face cloth coverings every time they leave their homes. People who have been sewing face coverings for their friends and their coworkers. We have neighbors going out of their way to maintain their physical distance from workers as they shop for groceries and medicine. And we have people bringing food and other needed supplies to those who are staying home because they're at the greatest risk for serious illness from COVID-19. There are acts of kindness and care across all our communities, and it makes me so proud to call Los Angeles County my home. And today, I'm glad to be here to express my appreciation to Andrew Frame and Citizen for using their unique services to help further our community during the pandemic. Our contact tracing program has been critical in our response for COVID-19, as we're able to ensure that people who are positive or exposed can be isolated and/or quarantined. But contact tracing relies on residents being able to share with us key information to connect so that we can identify their close contacts. And to date, as Supervisor Barger noted, our public health specialists, and that includes many city workers as well, have interviewed nearly 250,000 people who are positive and their close contacts. But we need additional capacity, and I'm so pleased that we'll be able to get some of this additional capacity through SafePass, which really uses digital technology to inform people when they've had a close contact. And this additional support will be powerful in all of our efforts to continue to slow the spread of COVID-19. Impressively, SafePass also allows us to improve our ability to communicate with residents. So we're able to share clear information about how the virus is impacting all of our communities, as well as practical data on what are the strategies we can all take to slow the spread. And this has been really useful to date in making sure that we know what we can do to save lives. It's been amazing to see how this has worked just today. And I too want to join with the mayor and with the supervisor, encouraging everyone to download the Citizen app for SafePass. This is a way we get to take care of each other. It enhances our ability to have the latest information on the pandemic, and it also will give you reminders about how important it is for each of us to do our part when we're trying to slow the spread. We often hear that knowledge is power, and in this case, knowledge has the power to save lives. So I want to thank Citizen for their innovation and their commitment to making our communities safer and healthier. I think they've shown us what it means to be a shared partner and take responsibility for finding ways that we protect each other, and that we each come to this work with a unique set of skills that we can share as we fight against the transmission of this deadly virus. And to close, I'm going to take the opportunity, as did Supervisor Barger and Mayor Garcetti, to remind all of us that we need to keep using our face coverings every single time we're outside of our home. We need to keep our physical distance from others and wash our hands frequently. We should avoid crowds and confined spaces. And please stay home if you're feeling sick and away from others. If you're positive for COVID-19, you need to isolate for at least 10 days. And if you've been the close contact of someone who's tested positive, you'll need to quarantine for 14 days. Consider your risk of becoming infected or infecting others in every activity you do, and plan for ways that you can reduce this risk. I want to thank everyone for doing their part, and in particular, it's now my great honor to introduce Mayor Robert Garcia, who has shown tremendous leadership, not just in Long Beach, but really across this country, in bringing us together in a united effort to defeat this pandemic. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. And I want to, of course, also just begin by thanking our amazing leadership in the county. We have had such incredible leadership, and to be here, of course, in LA City Hall with Mayor Garcetti, who's been a real just leader for all mayors across the county, has been really critical during this time. So thank you, Mayor Garcetti, for hosting us. I want to just begin, because I think you've heard it from my colleagues. First, a big thank you is in order to everyone in the county of Los Angeles. This is one of the largest counties in the country. And the truth is that where we are today versus where we were just a couple weeks ago, a few months ago, is a dramatically better place. Hospitalizations are down. The positivity rate at our testing centers is down. People are feeling more confident that we can actually take on this virus in a way that is safe. And as we know, the economy is also beginning to reopen slowly and responsibly. Of course, that doesn't mean that we can let up, and it certainly doesn't mean that this crisis is over. We still know that people are losing their lives every day. Families like mine and so many others are being affected in very real and tragic ways. But it's important to also know that this county, under the direction of our incredible team of supervisors and staff at all the health departments, have also been innovating. And I want to also add something that Mayor Garcetti said as it relates to testing. We can all remember a couple months ago when we were feeling that real crunch around testing, that we needed to have more testing around the county. The county, the city of Los Angeles, Pasadena, Long Beach, all stepped in and really innovated the way testing happened across the county. And now we have, I think, one of the most robust and successful testing programs anywhere in the United States. And so that was an innovative approach that the leadership took here. The same is happening today with this announcement. This new app is an incredible way for all of us to get engaged and to do something today to help fight COVID-19. I want to encourage every single person, not just in Long Beach, but across the county, especially young people who are out and who are working, who are interacting, hopefully safely, to download that app today. It'll track your contacts. It will keep your data safe, most importantly. And it's also a great way of getting you really up-to-the-minute information about how to keep yourself safe, your coworkers safe, and your family safe as well. We are living in an era where technology is changing our lives, and this app is going to allow us, and most importantly, our health professionals at the County of Los Angeles, at the Health Department in Pasadena, and in Long Beach, be able to do our jobs and their jobs in a much better way. So please, this is a plea also to support your doctors, your nurses, your medical professionals. Download this app today and really help us ensure that people stay safe across the county. I want to introduce another great partner who also has its own health department in the city of Pasadena, and that's Mayor Tornick, and who's also going to say a few words. And they, like Long Beach, are joining this team to ensure that we get this app out to as many people as possible.
Well, thank you. Good afternoon. I know that by now the residents of Pasadena are tired of hearing me tell them that until we have drugs that work, that all we have to fight the spread of the disease are social distancing, cloth face coverings, and good sanitation. Today we're adding something else that we can do. Happily, many people in Pasadena and elsewhere are listening, and we've managed to slow the spread of the disease, so more businesses are able to open. Still, the changes that we have asked of all of you are no fun, and we know it. The phone app that you're hearing about today is designed to make the process somewhat easier and certainly more effective. The challenge for all of us is not to repeat what happened in July when we relaxed and the disease took off again. We can't predict when we're going to see an end to all this, so please, let's keep doing what we're doing, wearing our face coverings, avoiding social gatherings, and now downloading the app. If we can, we'll be able to reopen even more businesses and perhaps most importantly, get our kids back to school. Remember, we really are, all of us, in all of the cities represented in the county and all the other cities that are not here today but are certainly playing their part, we're in this together. Thanks for listening and stay safe. It's now my pleasure to introduce Andrew Frame, Citizens CEO.
Thank you. Thank you to the wonderful leadership of Los Angeles. We're very proud to stand here and announce Safe Pass. There remains a burning need for continuous steps and actions to contain COVID-19. And this is the ultimate test that has required an amalgamation between government, the leading medical experts of the world, and leading technology platforms like Citizen. As Mayor Garcetti mentioned, we have around 1 million people within Los Angeles who use Citizen to stay safe. 5 months ago, when the virus was first making its way to the US, as a platform whose mission is safety, we had to ask ourselves, what can we do? And it turns out there's something very valuable that we can do, which is allow users the option of opting in to contact tracing, which is a digitized version of calling people who are positive to COVID-19. I'll give a little example just to put it into context on how important this app is for the people of Los Angeles. During the beta, 3.5% of the residents of Los Angeles opted in to the contact tracing test. Within this, we were able to learn how this works. There was a young woman who attended a protest in downtown Los Angeles who had turned on contact tracing, the demo, without quite understanding what it was. 2 days later, she received a notification that she might have been potentially exposed to COVID-19. Now, this came, first of all, as a surprise, but second of all, just in time because she was about to see her immunocompromised parents. And so she stopped and she decided to get tested instead. Now, the app also told her where and when she was potentially exposed. This was a very surprising user experience to her because all she did was download an app and press a button. So the way contact tracing works, we will never share data with any authorities without the user opting in. You will be presented a button. It's very helpful to provide this data to the health departments in the city of Los Angeles, but it is an opt-in. You do have to tap the button. So beginning today, Safe Pass is available, and this is an incredible partnership, something that I think will be leading the way for how COVID-19 is fought across the country. So we're very proud to be here. Thank you all for this.
I'll say a couple words, short words, I promise, in Spanish as well, and then we'll be happy to answer any questions from the media. Hold on a second. Buenas tardes a todos. Han pasado 6 meses desde que hemos estado todos reunidos. Hoy mi discurso en español será más corto porque tenemos tantos hablando. Hoy me acompañan líderes de todo el condado de Los Ángeles para dar actualizaciones importantes sobre nuestros esfuerzos contra el COVID-19. Además de nuestro programa innovador de pruebas, trabajamos con nuestros socios en el condado para establecer una infraestructura de rastreo de contactos. Y hoy estamos dando nuestro siguiente paso, lanzando la aplicación móvil Citizen Safe Pass, una herramienta que utiliza la tecnología Bluetooth para permitir a cualquier persona, no solo en el condado de Los Ángeles, sino en los Estados Unidos, recibir un aviso si han entrado en contacto con alguien con COVID. Estoy agradecido a Citizen y a su director ejecutivo, Andrew Frame, por ser socios extraordinarios para traer este servicio a Los Ángeles. Con simplemente descargar la aplicación SafePass de forma gratuita a su teléfono inteligente puede ayudarnos a ampliar nuestra capacidad de rastrear brotes y salvar vidas. Digamos que piensas que podrías haber sido expuesto a COVID-19 y te haces una prueba. En cuanto recibas los resultados de tu prueba, registras esos resultados en SafePass, en su teléfono. Si la prueba de COVID es negativa, no pasa nada. Pero si el resultado es positivo, la aplicación va a tomar acción inmediata para mitigar el impacto. SafePass identificará cualquier contacto que podría haber estado expuesto al virus sin saberlo y enviarla un mensaje a sus teléfonos, haciéndoles saber que estuvieron en contacto con alguien que tiene un resultado positivo, con el consejo de hacerse una prueba. Y si tú has estado en contacto con alguien que tiene un resultado positivo, estará en el otro lado de esa notificación. SafePass siempre mantendrá tu información privada y protegida. Nunca identificará a la persona que ha dado positivo. Solamente hará saber a los demás que pueden haber estado expuestos. Con más información que tengas, más rápido puedes tomar acción y más vidas puedes salvar. Así que descarga la aplicación Citizen Safe Pass ahora en el condado de Los Ángeles. Gracias a todos los residentes del condado de Los Ángeles y este equipo de líderes, los alcaldes de Long Beach y Pasadena, alcaldes García y Tornick, y la supervisora encargada del condado de Los Ángeles, Catherine Barger, por su liderazgo, y como siempre, la directora del Departamento de Salud Pública, doctora Barbara Ferrer. With that, we're happy to answer questions, and I'll continue to be the chief sprayer, but if you guys want to come closer. We'll take the first question.
The first question comes from the line of Mary Beth McDade with KTLA News. Please go ahead.
Hi, Mary Beth. Go ahead, Mary Beth. Can you hear me?
Enabled it, I download the app, I enable it, and then it will monitor my whereabouts as long as I have my phone and my app enabled. And then it's also keeping track of all the other people who also have the exact same app and it enabled. And then it will be able to point or text me if someone else that I came into contact with over the course of the last 2 weeks has come down with COVID, and then I'll be sent a free test. Is that the way it works?
Correct. Anonymously, so it doesn't have a name connected to those things, and Andrew can probably describe anything further, but absolutely, it would know automatically. The Bluetooth phones will talk, through Bluetooth the phones will talk to each other when you've gone by people who have this also installed. If they have a positive test, it will automatically know to activate and inform other people with this app who have come close to you that they should get tested. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And that's it. Thank you all. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you again to our fellow mayors that are here and to Dr. Frere and Supervisor Barger. Be safe, be strong, stay home, and download the app. Thanks, everybody.